Or the towns of Mock Chunk and East Mock Chunk merged to create the borough of Jim Thorpe, after Jim Thorpe's widow approached the boroughs looking for a final resting place for her husband. An agreement between the family and the two boroughs was finalized in May of that year, and the site of the Olympians' final resting place began. Today, on the east side of town, a 20-ton red marble memorial stands with the words of King Gustav V of Sweden when he presented Jim Thorpe with his 1912 Olympic medals. Sir, you are the greatest athlete in the world. Beyond the town's namesake, Jim Thorpe remains true to its heritage, boasting many Victorian-era buildings that grace Broadway, including the former New Jersey Central Station to your left, providing you with a glimpse into the past, while also inviting you into the present selection of unique shops, outdoors experiences, and restaurants that work to create a memorable experience for everyone.
Spider-Man, you want to put your foot down? I don't care if it's your weekend, possibly, but we all have to go there.
Oh, Pete, God bless you.
Granny wants to go too.
Folks, there are a lot of seats in the back of the train. You don't need to jam up in here.
In the second cab, is there another cab?
There's lots of them.
Yeah.
Now, as we begin our 45-minute journey, leaving downtown Jim Thorpe and into the Lehigh Gorge State Park, we ask that you sit back, relax, and take in all that the area has to offer. The bridge we are passing under as we travel through the entrance to the rail yard is the Route 903 bridge, which is dedicated to the late Sergeant Andrew J. Patton, a Jim Thorpe native who lost his life while saving another soldier during a mission in Iraq. Opened to the public in 2016 after replacing the former Route 903 bridge, the current bridge is nearly 1,000 feet long, sits approximately 100 feet above the Lehigh River, and leads visitors to Jim Thorpe's memorial on the other end of town, and beyond that, into the Poconos. On the left, we'll see the Jim Thorpe rail yard and our turntable, which is used during our popular steam excursions to turn the steam locomotive to face the opposite direction. To your right, you'll see the popular DNL Trail. This hiking and biking trail, created by the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor, runs 165 miles from the city of Wilkes-Barre to Bristol, Pennsylvania. During the summer months, thousands of visitors can be seen enjoying the trail, which winds gently through the Lehigh Gorge State Park near the Lehigh River. Keep your eyes open, though, as a variety of snakes, including rattlesnakes, black snakes, and copperheads, have been known to slither onto the trails as well.
I got them animals, stuffed animals. She picked up a snake and went coming down. I said, well, you can get an animal, but you're not getting a snake. She got a dog, or she got a fox, she got a snake.
The junction we are traveling through right now is the Nesquehoning Junction. If we were to follow the left track, we would travel to the towns of Nesquehoning, Tamaqua, and Reading, crossing over the hometown highway. The track that we are on leads us to the Reading and Northern's main line and into the entrance of the Lehigh Gorge State Park. To your left is the abandoned Peak 2 switch tower that was the control site for trains traveling through the junction until April of 1972. As we prepare to head into the Lehigh Gorge State Park, you will see a bridge on your left. This bridge, which connects the Reading and Northern's Reading and Lehigh divisions, was constructed by the railroad to expedite moves between Reading and Scranton. It officially opened for rail traffic on February 4th of 2020. The bridge that we are on now spans the Lehigh River and provides a connection to both rail and pedestrians from Jim Thorpe and the Lehigh Gorge State Park. Looking left, you can see the Lehigh River, while looking right, you get a brief view of Jim Thorpe.
Yes, it is. It's a train track.
The bridge we are passing over now is called the Coalport Trestle, which crosses the former Lehigh Valley Railroad, once owned by Asa Packer. Today, it passes over the Reading and Northern's Lehighton branch, as well as the Norfolk Southern Lehigh line. The area on your left leads to Glenanoco Falls, a triple waterfall nestled high in the mountain. It is the site of the legend of the beautiful Native American princess, Anoco. According to the legend, the princess leapt to her death from the upper falls after her father forbid her from marrying her true love. To this day, historians and storytellers cannot prove just how much of the story is true. The legend says that the princess still haunts the falls, and the spirit of the mist will appear on bright, sunny mornings over the water below. As we cross the Lehigh River for a second time, the area to your right is the location of the former Hotel Juanita. Built in 1886, the four-story luxury hotel was one of the highlights in the area, boasting 47 elegant rooms, as well as dining areas, tennis courts, and an 84-foot bar. Guests to the hotel were able to take in the sights along the Lehigh River in Glenanoka, while also enjoying horse and carriage rides. In its heyday, the hotel boasted year-round tenants as well as notable guests. But in 1911, a fast-moving bus car destroyed the hotel, and the land was left to be reclaimed by Mother Nature. The pass we just traveled through is known as the Route Cut and is the southern gateway to the Lehigh Gorge State Park. As we continue on our journey, watch for deer, turkeys, black bears, and other smaller native animals roaming through the gorge, as well as various types of hawks, vultures, and even the occasional bald eagle gliding high above us. The lush forest, sheltered in the valley of the mountains, is the perfect habitat for Pennsylvania's wildlife, both big and small. To your right along the next several miles, you may get a glimpse of portions of what was the Lehigh Canal. You may see rafters and kayakers down on the river. You may also notice some of our state flower, the mountain laurel, as well as a thriving variety of oaks, maples, poplars, and birch trees. This wide spot along the line is one of the few places where the tracks of the Lehigh Valley and New Jersey Central Railroads ran side by side in the same grade. The former New Jersey Central Road that is now the biking trail that you see to your right and runs over 20 miles to Whitehaven. The name of this area, Hetchel, comes from Hetchel's Tooth, the rock outcropping on the mountain high above the train. The Lehigh River on the right side of the train is a popular adventure for thousands of visitors a year. The river flows 109 miles into the Delaware River and is known for its numerous Class 2 and Class 3 rapids. During the warm summer months, it is not unusual to see dozens of rafters and kayakers enjoying trips down the Lehigh. The name Lehigh comes from a Lenape word meaning where there are forks. Besides rafting and kayaking, the river is also a popular fishing location with a variety of species including trout, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, carp, and catfish. In 1818, the Pennsylvania General Assembly gave away the rights to the Lehigh River. It was owned by the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company and used to transport coal through the region. This was the only example in United States history where the state did not own water rights to a river. In 1965, a bill was passed rescinding Lehigh Coal and Navigation ownership.
sleep.
We are now entering one of the sharpest curves on the line. Oxbow Curve, named by voters of the Lehigh Canal for its resemblance to a yoke that oxen use to pull wagons, forms almost a half circle. About halfway through the curve, you'll pass underneath what looks like a footbridge. This is actually an oil pipeline suspended above the track in the Lehigh River, running approximately 450 feet. It was one of the original oil pipelines in the country and ran between Oil City, Pennsylvania and Linden, New Jersey, but now carries fiber optic cables. On the far side of the trail, in the trees near the river, you may be able to see some of the remains of a former canal lock. This portion of the Lehigh Canal was named the Upper Grand Section and totaled 20 dams and 29 locks. It was destroyed by a flood in the 1860s and was replaced by the railroads. As we continue on our journey, you may notice numerous mile markers. These mile markers, like milepost 128 that we are just passing, indicate the miles away from Penn Station in New York City. These mile markers have also been created to feature a variety of state wildlife that call the Lehigh Gorge State Park home. Across the river, you can also see the area where Bear Creek empties into the Lehigh. Bear Creek is a favorite for those who enjoy fishing for Pennsylvania's state fish, the brook trout. This is the end of our line for today. And once the train comes to a complete stop, passengers seated in a standard coach may get up out of your seat and either push or pull in the middle of the seat to switch his position for the facts about Jim Thorpe and what the town has to offer. Mauch Chunk, the town's original name, comes from a Lenape phrase meaning mountain of the sleeping bear, which refers to nearby Bear Mountain. By the late 19th century, the town had transformed from a growing industrial hub into the second most popular tourist destination in the country, second only to Niagara Falls. At one time, nearly 10,000 people from around the world visited daily. At one time, 13 millionaires also called Mauch Chunk home, and Millionaires Row can still be seen along Broadway either as private residences, bed and breakfasts, or unique shops in the Jim Thorpe Historic District. As we re-enter downtown Jim Thorpe on our return trip, look to the right of the county courthouse, and you will be able to see two mansions sitting on the hill. Those mansions, built by philanthropist and Lehigh Valley Railroad founder Asa Packer, were the family homes until the death of daughter Mary Packer Cummings in 1912. The Asa Packer Mansion on the left is preserved history from the 1800s and is available for tours, while the Harry Packer Mansion on the right is operated as a bed and breakfast.